Hey guys, listen, you already know what time it is. It's your host, Aisha Lewis Redway, and I am back with another. We almost done with the season though. We almost
hmm
done. We wrapping up before the holidays, but we're here with another Indie Talks. And of course, you already know we come through with some of the most amazing talent. And let me tell you, Queens is in the building, all right?
Hello.
So listen, let's clap it up because we have no other than Cosi Pari in the
Top of
house.
your team, but when you shopping for me. Got your heart on repeat like yeah, yeah, yeah. The sound of the beat like yeah, yeah, yeah. You wanna ride with the hottest, ride with the baddest, passport tatted, ass the fattest. Stop me to speak like yeah, yeah. Respect keep like yeah.
What's going on?
How are you feeling? I'm feeling great. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm super excited about this because I've been following the music. I have been following you.
Yes.
I done seen you on all the other platforms. I was like, you know what? You know what, God, when the time is right, it's gonna come together and we're
Yes,
gonna be able
divine
to
timing. And
have
here
this
we
thing.
are. Here we are.
Yes, and we're here. I definitely want to let's jump right into this. Let's really talk about, the early stages, the beginnings, because you started so young in this music game. And of course, being from Queens, we already know
Yes.
New York is already the
Yeah,
melting pot of so many artists
so
here,
many artists.
between the
It's
Bronx, Queens and Harlem, all sorts of places, Brooklyn. Um,
yes.
talk about the moment you realize, even at a young age, that for you, music was, I wouldn't say just the calling, but you just knew that this was it. This is what I'm gonna do.
Ooh. Ooh. When I realized the impact, when I realized the what sound meant, and really diving into like the logistics of instruments and really getting into soul music, blues, jazz, like really diving into what music is. It's a frequency, it's an energy, and I always wanted to share that like to other people. So when I understood what music was and what it can do for others emotionally, I really wanted to try my hardest to like try to evoke something out of someone from something I made. So I was just trying my hardest to put something, words together, poetry, whatever I could put together to make a sound. And eventually you learn. Eventually I learned how to.
Okay. Now, being that you are from this playground of artists, right? Who are some artists that locally that inspired you or you kind of grew up with? Because sometimes when we start young, we listen to our parents' influence, right? And we hear that, we kind of build off that in
Yes.
regards to music and kind of create our palette. So who
hmm
are some of the ones that were instrumental to you to help you get into this movement of creation?
Definitely Lauren Hill. Lauren Hill, I mean like lyrically, spiritually, um musically, just instrumentally, like in every aspect of what embodies an artist. Lauren Hill was like a big inspiration for me. Just not even just her music, but her journey. Of course, Nicki Minaj, putting on for Queens, being one of the hottest female rappers for a tumultuous amount of time, like a very long time in the industry. So that, of course, you got to give her flowers. She definitely influenced a lot of, no, I wouldn't say my sound, but a lot of my creativity. Like just, she opened the door, definitely. Despite all the controversy, she definitely opened the door. Of course, Whitney, Mary. It goes, so I'm very R&B. Despite my hip hop, I'm very,
Gotcha.
very R&B. So yeah, definitely. But who stands out to me would, I would say, Lauren Hill for sure.
And also, not only just talking about the artists, but obviously New York City in a whole, like we said in the beginning, it's just filled with so many heavy hitters that really
Mm-hmm.
just blow the game away. Like you already named Nicki, Mary,
Nas, Jay Z,
so many people.
so many.
What parts of just New York itself help shape you in your writing, in your artistry, and just how
Mhm.
you view music in general?
Ooh, I would say South Side Jamaica, Queens, where I'm from. That definitely, like, Queens is the, amongst all the boroughs, is probably the most culturally diverse in my opinion. Like growing up around Trinidadians, Jamaicans, then you have Chinese, then you have Japanese, then you have Sri Lankans, you have, it's so much culture like to get into musically, instrumentally, like when you're really listening to drum patterns and you get into like chord progression of music, you hear these things through the cultures in Queens. Like you hear the drums, sometimes you might go on Jamaica Ave, you hear the Jamaican music playing, then you go to one other store and now it's like you're in like China. So it's definitely Jamaica, Queens, South Side of Queens is where a lot of my sound is derived, I would say.
Listen, let me just piggyback off on that real quick. I 100% agree. Like
Yes.
I'm originally born and raised Rochester, New York. That's upstate for those who may not know. But I reside in Queens, at
See?
this time. And I've been here since 2008. So yeah.
Yes. You could go
So
get a massage from Tokyo, and then you could go 2 blocks over and now you're in Africa. It's a lot. I love it
Girl,
though.
it's
I
like
love
you
it.
cross one street and it's just like, wait a second.
Where am
Like
I? Right.
see everything. So I agree with that.
Yes.
Let's talk about the you and your artistry, right? So now you're at this point, you're walking in what you firmly believe is like literally your calling, right?
Yes.
You One thing about you and what I've listened to in regards to your music, you have a good blend. Like you said, your heart, you are R&B girly besides of the hip hop
Yes.
lyricism that you are.
Yes.
I love the blend. I love that you take, the drill, you take the hip hop, you take the trap, the R&B, and kind of pop a little bit and mix that.
Yes.
How do you push mixing these genres instead of just choosing that one lane?
Ooh. So I feel like sounds, in my opinion, in my mind, like my mind is so like it's like a canvas to me, like how I envision myself when I'm writing. I think sound can exist and it sounds better together. It goes together like ingredients. And that's how I think when I'm like curating music. It's like, can I put these two sounds together? How would these two artists sound together? And I personally think it's been a challenge. It's been a little challenging, like really trying not to do too much R&B, but also not doing too much hip hop. But I'm an R&B artist. I started as a singer, an R&B singer, so it's fully just I'm it's both for me. So it's just a balance. It's a balance, and I think merging the sounds, it definitely exists. It just you have to do it very meticulously.
And you do it so eloquently. And the thing is, I
I
think
don't
that's
know. I don't know how. I really when I think about it, I really there's no strategy. It's just magic happens when you're in the studio and you're in that frequency. It's a frequency and an energy
right.
when you get around the correct artists and you have the correct producers to like it just comes together. It just really just comes together.
That part. And also, since you already kind of said it a little bit, because I know you have been working with one of the producers as
Hmm.
well, and that's Drizzy Banko. Like,
Dizzy.
oh, Dizzy. Also, so
Now
look,
you get it. He said
uh,
you love you, Dizzy.
apologies, Dizzy. And also, name has come up in other things, projects, everything else as well. And you guys have this chemistry. Kind of talk about that
Yes.
because not only are you just working with him, you hold it down with mixing and collaborating with other artists, especially some artists that you have up on the current album that you have, Fergie Baby, who we love, who's local as well, Harlem.
Yeah.
And of course, a lot of other artists. So kind of talk
Yes.
about that chemistry and being able to collaborate with other artists. And what is the one thing you feel like, okay, it's a must have when we are
Hmm.
going to step into the studio?
Mm. Ooh, okay, this is two parts. So
Yes.
first part, I would say the chemistry between me and Dizzy. I think he came into my life as literally a musical angel. He really amplifies the sound and the grit and just the story. He helps me amplify my story that, I was telling a story prior to, but he knows how to really pull out like different tones and within me, different sounds, different lyrics within me, like just helping me push myself. The chemistry, it was instant. Like when I met him, the same day I met him, I was actually on his album, Adjustments 2, and we did a feature together and we were looking at each other like, where were you? And where were we all each other's careers, because had we been together 5-6 years ago, we would have been a dynamic duo. But that's what we're aiming toward now. But every great artist needs a great producer to believe in them and really be patient with them and just keep pushing them, because as artists we give up a lot. Now, the second part of the question was,
So basically, what is the one thing that you look for when you want to collaborate with someone and
okay,
stepping in that studio?
okay, definitely it has to be me. I'm big on divine energy. I'm big on godly energy. I'm big on spirituality. I'm big on ambiance. It has to
Mm.
be a candle lit. From I don't care if I'm right. I know it doesn't give like what I'm saying, but I know I'll get in there and do my hardest 16, but the atmosphere has to, first of all, the lighting has to be good. The candle has to be lit. If I'm working with another artist, no drama. I don't want to hear about drama in the studio. I don't want to hear about what's going on outside. I like to limit time on phones because I really like the human connection of we're sitting here. I can go freestyle, but I would prefer us get a pen and a piece of paper and get to the music and really write. And yeah, so it definitely has to be like a high energy. And I'm very like particular and very picky with who I invite to sessions. It's never really too many people. It's usually just the artist, the engineer, and one or two other musical people, but that's about it.
As you should.
Yeah.
So then, because with the more people you got, the more distractions that can possibly can happen.
Right.
And I want to go into, so obviously I love the fact that you talk about the energy
Mm-hmm.
of the session.
Yeah.
It always sticks with me when Money Long talk about the one story when she said,
Mm-hmm.
J. Cole, came in and he was
Yep.
sat down and then popped right back out because she was just like not
On.
there.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's so important about when you're creating, just making sure you have the right people
Mm-hmm.
in the room with you because it's
Yes.
tone,
It's
you know.
crucial. It's crucial because you can absorb that, especially if you're in a space. Like if I'm in a space where I'm about to, it's like an actress or an actor before they play their role, they have to get into character. So
Yeah.
while as an artist, you're into your character, you're into that story that you're about to tell through that song. So if you get into the studio and everybody's loud cursing or whatever the energy is, you're gonna absorb it as an artist, and it could throw you off, it could discourage you, it could make you tired, lazy, depending on what's coming in. You could start drinking or smoke, doing too much. Now you're lazy. Now you don't feel like it. So it's very, very, you have to be very careful with the energy you invite to your sessions for sure.
Right, because time is money, right?
Time is money.
All right. So as a lyricist, because you did talk about how you started off in R&B, you transitioned into the lyricism. For you, what makes the bar or the melody very true to you? Like knowing like this is it. Like I know this is the piece that's gonna fit to the puzzle.
Mm. Oh, when I sit back, when I record something and then I listen back to it and I say, "Ooh, I just sit there and I'm like, I just sometimes I'd be like, thank you God for these gifts. And I sit there and sometimes we don't as artists understand our own capacity and talent. Sometimes we're so consumed in the let's finish that I'm not sitting there and like, wow, that came out of my brain. Like that really just came out of my mind. So when I hear a line that's distinctive and it stands out, like, oh, I just set a bar that I didn't even know I could, you know but it really like it humbles you in the moment too, like you have to sit back and I'm like, wow. So
Wow.
that's always the moment for me.
I love it. Just being able to take a moment just to kind of bask in what it is that you created. You know what I'm
Yes, like
saying?
I
Instead
am
of,
talented, and
yeah.
you sit like, wow, okay, this is hard.
And another love it because of the fact that I think I speak with so many artists and I speak with a lot of creators in this industry, and it's just like sometimes it's like they find themselves like 3, 4, or 5 projects deep and
Yes.
still
Mm-hmm.
didn't even take in what happened those
Yes.
past couple of months or years.
Yes, and I've been
Like
there.
I'll go to the next thing, but it's just like I love that you sit and you just have that moment just to, like to hear what it
Yes.
is that you said.
Yes. And
How
I've
do
been
you
there. It wasn't always that. It wasn't always that. That's why I'm so captivated by that moment, because I didn't always celebrate those moments where I would sit and I'm like always, oh, I used to always overly criticize my work, like, oh, I could be better. But now I'm just like, you know what, this is what it's gonna be, and it feels so much better, so much
I was
better.
gonna say you just answered one of the questions I was gonna, but perfect timing. And another piggyback pretty much is what I like about what you just said is allowing yourself to be kind of more in a sense of, I guess the word I'm gonna use is vulnerable and just
Yes.
authentic in just the space that you're in.
Yes.
Was that always easy for you, or was that difficult, or is
Ooh.
just natural?
um it was difficult, and then it became easy, and then it became natural, I would say, in that order. um First, doing anything new, you're not sure, you're not 1,000% sure, you're worried about perception, and you get so consumed by perception that you forget you have an assignment and this is something you love. And then you start thinking too much about this, that. When you cut that off, then you're in the easy stage where it's like, okay, it's easy to be myself, it feels
Yeah.
better. And then you get to the natural stage where it's like, this is the only thing I'm willing to do. If I have to
Mm.
compromise myself, it will not happen. And when you get to that part of confidence in your artistry, and it's very hard, the transition sounds seamless, but it's very, very difficult. It takes a lot of self-confidence, a lot of courage, a lot of self-awareness, brand awareness. You have to know where you're even going and why you're even doing and saying what you're saying and why you're doing what you're doing. And I think a lot of artists don't really think to that capacity, but everything you're saying, doing, thinking, writing, portraying, it matters to everything, your brand. So I think, yeah, definitely just taking that moment and going through them steps. It's inevitable as an artist to get to that confident level where you're like, you know what, I don't care about their opinions. So that's where I'm at now, where it's easy now because I went through those hard times where I'm like, I don't know if this is for me. But when you get past that, it gets much easier.
Love it. And I want to pin one word that you said is the confidence, right? Because
Yes.
in your music, in which we're gonna get to your latest projects as well, in a few, you have like this very just in your face, very empowered, like just who you are, right?
Yes.
And I want that, like, how do you look at it in the sense of as a woman in not only this industry, but just in music in general, right?
Hmm.
Entertainment. Just trying to carve this lane because we've heard over the years how male dominated this has been,
Yes.
especially when it comes to women in hip hop. Kind of how do you view that and what does that empowerment look for you?
Yeah. Honestly, at first it was very intimidating. It was very intimidating knowing that I have a different sound, and it put a huge target on my back. Like
Mm,
being different, like being unique, being authentic in today's industry, it puts a huge target on your back. So you either have people that admire you tremendously or people that really hate you because like who does she think she is? She thinks she's better or but when you understand that your gifts aren't your own, and I understand that through really worshiping God and follow and on my journey with God, that my gifts are do not belong to me and my assignment is much bigger. So when you understand that, it's easier to tune everything else out and just say, you know what, I know the stigma for a female rapper, I know what's expected of a female rapper physically, mentally, um appearance wise. I know everything, and I'm going to purposely do everything contrary until I can impact. So no, so I can impact the next female rap generation to kind of just be authentic, be free, and try new things. I would say.
mm. I want to give you your flowers first and foremost before we get
Thank
into
you.
the latest project, Masterpiece.
Thank
Um,
you.
I like I said, since I became a fan, I one thing about me, I worked in this industry for 15 plus years, and
Woo.
I seen the transition
I
in
know. Yes.
music and artists. And the one thing I want to say that I want to thank you on is the lyricism, the songwriting, the pen to the
Thank
pad
you.
for you, and how you really authenticate and really have you not only you just have the New York sound, you have it overall. You know what I'm
Thank you.
saying?
I appreciate that.
And it's not that this it's not fluff, is really saying something.
Yes.
And as we talk about it, and for those who are you don't know or you're gonna see this and you need to support, please make sure you go support. Please get Masterpiece. I
Yes,
mean,
please.
from and even not just Masterpiece, other projects that she have, other
Yes.
EPs that she that she has as well.
Thank you so much.
It's that's why I want to give you your flowers on that, because it's you're not just filling in something, you're really saying something. One of my actually favorite songs on the Masterpiece project is Ready.
Oh,
I love that right there. You
that's one
talk
of
about
my favorites too.
the dynamic,
Yes.
with your mother, the love, it wasn't perfect, but bills
Yes.
getting high, but you had love in the room. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
that's one of my favorite
And shout
tracks
out
from
to
that.
Riley Lane because she blessed those
Yes.
vocals on there. Yes, thank you.
So let's talk about Masterpiece. Very strong, very eloquently done. Talk about that representation, because you also gave like this poetry and letting them know, like, how your parents told you, like, you're a masterpiece, and in
Yes.
the you have the makings, and you're doing this. So touch on that and that stage in your life to bring this project forward.
Ooh, so it was very well, Masterpiece actually came together very quickly. Took maybe a month and a half to complete the album, but it was just like I said, when you're paired with the right producer, it can bring a story to life so fast. And he allowed my vulnerability. He just sent me the production, and whatever I sent him, he fully accepted. He let my story be told, and he didn't criticize, he didn't judge, he didn't even ask any questions. He just loved what I brought to the table and helped me. We just collectively brought the vision to life. But Masterpiece definitely to me is like my life vulnerability for the first time, just being very transparent about my upbringing, being very transparent about my family, who my family is, like where just a glimpse into
Right.
my life and where I'm originated from. A lot of people don't know. My music prior to is very topic based or very closed off, I would say, to my fan base and to my supporters. They I feel like Masterpiece gave them a chance to connect more with me on a more deeper level, emotional level. It was a healing journey for me recording this entire project. I learned so much about myself and my life, trauma, healing, things I need to work on. And it was very, 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 very spiritual creating this project. Like I felt like God was speaking to me throughout the entirety of the project. And yes, yes, that's my best answer.
I
I could go
I
on
love
and
it.
on and on, but
I,
yes,
I was gonna say, girl, we can talk about this. Okay. For even for this to be a project, what would you say was the most challenging song, or that you could have created, or not even, maybe not even challenging? What was the best or positive piece that you could have created for this album?
ooh, ooh. I would say two. I would say Champion Era because it's very different for me. Musically, I've never done like a sports themed song that's very upbeat and makes, I've gotten so much feedback from like the sports world and of things where it's like I'm not really in that world. I'm just a girl. I'm not big on sports and things like that. So hearing like the
Come
feedback.
on, placement. Let's get some
Right.
placement.
Hello, because that's the goal. Next year is the goal, and it will be. I'm
Yeah.
learning to be very mindful of what my words next year. It will be placed into a lot of things. So we're for my words
It's
to
gonna
God's
happen.
ears.
It's
That's
happening.
gonna happen. It's already set in stone. But
Yeah.
that was a difficult song, but a very challenging song for me. And Masterpiece. I mean, no, Ready. Ready was a very like pushing through those lyrics. It took me to a place. It took me to a place where I said, and I kept questioning, should I say that? I rewrote that verse a couple times because I was like, is this too transparent? Is this and it made me uncomfortable in a way where it helped me grow. It made me better. So definitely ready. It was difficult to sit with those lyrics and really say, wow, this used to be my reality. But it shaped who I am. So yeah, those two songs definitely.
I love it. Now, with Masterpiece, like you praise this project and how this puts you into a different place, in a vulnerable place.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to really sit back and you face to face with the Cosi who first started,
Aw.
what would that conversation be like? Hearing, playing Masterpiece to that old you,
Mm,
and
that's
what
such
would
a
that conversation kind of reflect?
First of all, I love that question. I love that. That's the first time hearing that question. And honestly, the conversation would be like, "Girl, we did
Mm,
it." They thought we were one thing. All the people I've worked with, I won't name names, but there's been a lot of people I worked with that wanted me to be this ultimate sex symbol and be this ultimate, like, just that. And they couldn't see past that. Like they only saw that. So for me to be, I would say to her, you never had to do that. You never did it, and you made your impact. You're starting to make that impact. I told you when we started we were going to do that, and we stuck to our morals and principles and values, and we stuck to our plan and our mission and our assignment, and that's why we're here now. That's what I would say to my old self. And it doesn't matter what other people thought. It never really mattered what other people thought. It always mattered what you thought and what God thought about you. And yes, that's where I am now. Here we are. So yeah, shout out to old Cosi. I love her. Love her. We went through a lot. Yes, clock it.
man,
Yeah, we
amazing.
went through
I,
so
I would love
much.
to be a flying one just to see you sit in front of yourself and be
You
like,
know what? I'm a credit you because I might have to do a video with that concept. Yeah. Yep. Creative directed, but yep. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that after.
love it, love it. Um, before, first of all, once again, thank you for this conversation. Before we wrap up,
Thank you for having
in
me.
all of the music that you have created and that you have putting out in being vulnerable, I think masterpieces, ah, so crafted. And shout
Yeah.
out once again to your producer, to everybody that's on this project, that
Yes.
brought it to life. Because
Yes.
this, oh my God, I really like. Why wasn't this Grammy nominated? Why wasn't this
You
the
know
what?
what? We're gonna put that into the air right now because it will be. It will be. And you know what? Babyface himself told me this is a masterpiece. Now,
Literally,
when he said that, that was the title. And then, so
yes,
you know what? We're gonna stand on it. And then we created a masterpiece before he even heard. That's when he was hearing the references. It wasn't even anything yet. It was just an ideas and little
mm,
mumbles and stuff. But he put his stamp on it. So I feel honored. I'm honored to take the baton in female rap and really I'm about to do something so I can't even explain it. That's how major it's gonna be for the entirety of the industry, female
yes,
genre, period. And I cannot wait to look back at this, even this interview. Every interview I would love to look back on and just say, you remember you? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Listen, you got this, and I'm encouraging you because I hear it. It's I see it.
yes,
It the game needs it. I think we spend too much time seeing the girls bicker. We see them too much
yes,
time of them everybody else outside of that trying to really put everyone against each other instead of just
yes,
really focusing on the craft, the artistry, just the emotion and what it takes to get to that point. And I
yes.
love your mindset that you're on the right track. Like
Thank
keep
you.
doing it. And shout out
Thank
to
you.
Babyface for those words and
Yes,
inspiring you and giving you and that stamp of approval. Like
yes.
you hands down are it. And I can't wait to see you, walk the Grammy floor, when you're gonna walk the Grammy floor
I
and
know,
when you pull up the
child.
billboards and when
Mhm.
you're going to be at all of these different type of honors and
Thank
acting
you.
shows. So you definitely hands down,
Thank you. Thank you. Your words to God's ears. I always say that.
yes,
Always say that.
yes. As we wrap up, You know, like I said, this show, we really focus on speaking to the heavy hitters of music when it comes to independent. And there's artists who are trying to find their way. There's artists who's trying to pivot. There's artists that are trying to just like, yo, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do.
Mhm.
How do I move on? Because it takes so much to be an independent artist. It takes so
Yes.
much financial
Yes.
decisions and
Ooh, ooh.
leverage to even do this. So,
Yes.
what words of encouragement can you provide just from seeing your own growth and seeing the way that you had to put in and sacrifice?
Mm. Ooh, this is so much I would say, but I would start by saying learn your identity first and learn how to love yourself first. It's like getting into any tumultuous, traumatic, toxic relationship. This industry is not the prettiest, but when you are weighted in yourself and your own being and existence, it is very, very, very difficult for anyone to sway you, for anyone to persuade you, convince you, for anyone to allow doubt to flow into you. So I would say definitely get very familiar with yourself, get familiar with your sound, get familiar with your craft, get familiar with learning and really learning. Sit on YouTube. I've sat on YouTube for hours and hours and hours. A lot of these things are self-taught. Sit on YouTube and get the free education that's out here if you want to be an artist. It is so possible. It is so possible. It literally takes one song, one
Yep.
person. Don't be lazy. Get up and go to that networking event that you don't feel like going to. If you're this is for the artists that are on funding, low on funding, because I've done it and I'm still going through it. So, especially independently, you're going to have to contact and reach out to the resources that the labels will use. It's very possible. Get you a photographer friend, get you a lawyer friend, get you a hip hop media friend, get you a PR friend, and you don't have to be using them for this, but be a student, learn from these people, always be an intern, no matter how far you get in your career. Don't let your ego get in the way, and stay consistent, 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 consistent. The days you're getting one like and you just sat there and put 500,000, your last $500 that you said, I got to pay the cable bill. I put this last $500 into this video. Believe in your video, put the video out. Do not look at the numbers. That does not define you. Your talent and your belief in yourself is the only thing that's going to get you through this industry. And it's the only thing that will convince people that you are worth the time and effort, the confidence in yourself. So, but that starts with self-awareness, self-love, self-appreciation, self-reflection. And yes, so I would say start with yourself, the inner work. It needs to be done. And then get to the music and really just stay consistent. Self-love and consistency, you could get so far with no money.
That's how you just gave a word, sis. Okay? You gave a word. And what better way we can close the sermon on that?
Yes.
But before we close out the sermon, the benediction is what we got next?
Ain't God good? Yep.
All the time.
That's
What
so
we got
funny.
next? So what's happening next? Because you know what? I'm gonna personally say it. We need a New York girly kind of show tour or something. We need you
Oh
to LoLo.
yes. Oh,
You
God
know,
is. This is not even the surface. Masterpiece is the surface. I'm already in the works, halfway done with the deluxe. Child, we already on the deluxe. Is already in the works. Right now, what's next? Definitely touring. Definitely more worldwide branding, endorsement deals, partnership deals, sync deals, commercials, more TV, more of my personality being shown. Definitely YouTube and vlogging. Music, of course, is going to be flooded. Surprise features. It's just going to go on and go on and go on. We're of course going to touch the community in major ways too, because you can't forget that part. It's so much going on. Touring, it's so much merch, website, child,
yeah, we saw a couple of the masterpieces. I'm about to
everything.
put my order in. I'm putting my order in. Okay,
You hear me now?
I'm a
But so
true.
much. so much, and I just ask that everybody just keep praying for me throughout my transition and my journey. And for the females specifically, I need y'all, the womanhood. I need the womanhood because I'm just trying to be united in that. But yes, so much in store. The deluxe is on the way, so it's coming very, very, very soon. Child. I don't even know how I did, but it's right around the
Listen,
corner.
and we're gonna be here to put it on our Music Friday. We're gonna be here to support and push, of course, because you know what? We all we got.
Right, literally. That's literally the truth.
So first of all, thank you, Cosi, for being here, for having this conversation, for being the real you, because that's the one thing we pride ourselves on is nothing but real music, real style, and real people. And it don't get no realer than who we literally have right here in the room right
Oh,
now. All
thank
right.
you for having me. I'm
Of course.
always honored when someone takes the time, because I say time is currency. So when someone takes the time to want to sit and talk and hear my story, I'm always honored to
Yes.
sit and child like to talk. If we was on, we had a little cup of tea, a little wine, then we would be talking for hours. But
Be gone the rest of the
right,
night.
right. So thank you so much for having me and hearing my story. I really appreciate you.
Of course, guys, thank you for being here with us, being able to hear this conversation. Listen, you tapped in. If you tapped in a little too late, it's okay.
It's okay.
Follow our YouTube. We there. Interview is gonna be there. Full thing. You hear these gems that was dropped. Okay. And always remember, please do not just stream the project, download it, pay for it.
Please,
Share
yes. It's $1. Come
it's
on.
$. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if you gotta get one single, then you gotta come back and get the album. It's okay.
Right.
Do that. Do that.
One
But guess
paycheck
what?
at
It
one.
takes so much to be an independent artist.
So
And
much.
so definitely please support.
Thank you
Show
so
spread
much.
love and support. That's what we do over here. All
Thank
right.
you.
Listen, so until next time, guys. Woo! We out.